nobody like this. You ain't seen nobody like this. You hear my sound all over town singing. Whoa. You ain't seen nobody like this. You ain't seen nobody like this. You hear my sound all over town singing. Whoa. I think there's something in the water. If you wanna take a sip, but be careful what you wish for. The faint of heart can't handle it. Everybody wants a piece of someone else's prize, but it ain't free, it don't come cheap. Only the strongest will survive. You ain't seen nobody like this.
Good evening and welcome to a special edition, Bracketolgy, the TAPPS edition. Rafa, I know you've done a little bit of homework. I know you got teased a little bit with some UIL action this evening. There was a heck of a girls' match for that here, but are you ready to make your selections for the TAPPS playoffs here that, let's be honest, are fast and furious since the brackets came out Saturday or Friday afternoon, and some teams have already played 2 rounds and it's Monday. So
the Fast and Furious tournament.
Holy cow, man! It's
I don't know what the big rush for the TAPPS playoffs. So they're trying to squeeze everything in. Did they not have enough to pay for the field at the end for the final, or they have to have they got to finish the games before a certain time? Who knows?
Well, we talked about doing it Sunday.
Yeah.
But the second, because they had the bi-district round on the 24th, and which was Saturday, and we're like, well, we can't do it then because they came out on Friday. But the area round was supposed to be the 27th. Well, like Geneva's played 2 matches. They got past their first one, and they lost. Unfortunately, they lost. This afternoon to British International School. Before we even had a chance to even kind of give some props. Now we'll still give props to Geneva. Their girls are playing right now, and last update, they were ahead. So you've got a little bit of help here, but we've got some brackets that we can go over. You want to start, with the D1 girls or D3 boys?
Let's go with the D1 girls.
All right. Let's bring on. No, I like this one better. All right, so I'm pretty sure I can pick this one here. Ursuline Academy, 21-1, 12-0 out of District 1, finished first against Concordia Lutheran out of Tomball, 5-14-1 and 2-10. This match has not been played or there's been no update of it as of yet. Your thoughts on Ursuline, who are historically the best, I guess you could say, in D1?
The dynasty of TAPPS for girls soccer. Yeah, they should have no problem. Like I said, I'm sure they're one of the favorites again to win it all. So no problem against Concordia.
Go on Division 1, 5 Nolan Catholic, 3-24-2, 0-12. Going against Incarnate Word out of SanAntonio, who will be hosting 12-11 and a record of 4-8 in conference. Who you favoring on this one?
Normally, you would think Nolan Catholic would be the favorite, but not a strong year for them. So we're going to give the nod to the Incarnate Word Lady Shamrocks.
And then to me, kind of interesting here. Trinity Anderson Addison, according to the TAPPS thing here, forfeited for that here. So Antonian advanced. They had 1-0, but I put 1F because technically they didn't play. Mm-hmm. So then you're going to have Ursuline versus Incarnate Word out of SanAntonio. And then Paris Episcopal out of Dallas, who got past the Village School 5-0. They're 11-4-1, 8-4, and Antonian is 19-6-1 and 9-3. So, who do you like in the go into the semifinals?
That's gonna be a tough one. You're probably gonna have to give the nod to probably the Paris Popsicle. I mean, they're a little tougher district.
It'll be here because the higher seed host, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, home team higher seed.
Yeah. So I don't know if they've announced where they're going to play at, but knowing Paris, being that district with Ursuline, so they're really battle tested. So it's gonna be a tight
over on the other side.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give Paris Epoxo the edge. I do want, like I said, hopefully Antonio does pull it off, but got to give them the edge on that.
And I'm assuming you're going with the Dynasty.
Yeah.
Sorry, Carter word. And then going over to the other side, St. Agnes had a bye. St. Prius out of Houston got a forfeit win over Prestonwood. Bishop Lynch beat Incarnate Word 6-0, so that sets up there. A game that has not been played yet, Independent Loretto Academy out of El Paso, 5-2 on the season, and John Paul II out of Plano, 8-9, 7-5. Let's see here. It says a neutral site for this one here. Any favorites that you predict that's going to face St. Agnes in the next round?
I think John Paul should win that game. They'll take care of Loretto.
Then it sets up, to me, an interesting matchup. Bishop Lynch versus St. Prius X out of Houston. Similar records, 10-7-1. Bishop Lynch, 9-3 in district. St. Prius, 8-4.
Probably go with Bishop Lynch.
And that one would be at higher seed, so that would be up in Dallas. And then JP2 out of Plano, traveling to St. Agnes out of Houston, 14-3-1, 12-0. So then that sets up 3 Dallas schools and a Houston school. Ursuline versus Parrish.
Ursuline.
12-0, Ursuline. And then you got Bishop Lynch versus St. Agnes.
That'll be a tough one, but I think St. Agnes pulls that one out, so we'll have a Houston-Dallas final.
And then you going with the Dynasty, or are you going with St. Agnes with an upset?
You got to go with the Dynasty. Like I said, they've been
Rafa,
playing
you
great.
Can't go all chalk.
They've been playing great, so you can't go against them. Like I said, they've been the most probably consistent team in TAPPS D1. So this is their year.
So moving on to the boys, for that here, some interesting setups of the schedules here. So John Paul II out of Plano, out of Division I on the boys' side, got a bye all the way to the regional round. Trinity Christian Academy lost to Antonian 8-0, so that's going to set up that regional. Last I checked, the Nolan Catholic versus Concordia Lutheran out of Tomball. Oh, I didn't get Tomball's record. I thought I did. Oh, I missed that one there. Let me see if I can go back and get that here. Standings. Concordia Lutheran. Yeah, there's probably a reason why I didn't do it. They're 0-21 and 2 and 0-10 for that here. So I'm assuming you got Nolan Catholic getting.
And St. Pius X got the good end of the deal going this early to the third round. So I don't think Nolan Catholic will take care of that one. But then I think St. Pius will win that one.
You think they'll win that one? And then at the top, John Paul II, Plano, and Antonian.
You go with JP2 from Plano.
Moving to the other side of the bracket, down at the bottom, everybody's favorite here with the SA Soccer Roundtable, going all the way back to Scott's days here. Central Catholic, 7-2. They got the double bye. Parish Episcopal Dallas, 4-9 and 3-7 versus St. Thomas out of Houston. 13-9 and 3-7 in district. For that here, let's see. Pull that up here, make sure nothing's been updated here. Yeah, still no score. And that was at Parish Episcopal, so at the higher seat of Dallas here. So, who you leaning?
I think St. Thomas. I think St. Thomas will get that one.
St. Thomas, and then the other top of the belt, Houston Bishop Lynch High School, 8-3, and then
Cathedral.
Cathedral went on the road here, according to the Village Athletics. I don't know if they went on the road. It looks like it was at McMurray, so it was a neutral site. They lost 1-0 through there, so they advance for that. So you got an independent Division I and then two Division II teams facing off here. I'm assuming you're going with Central Catholic, or are you giving St. Thomas Houston a shot?
Central Catholic's gonna take care of business. They're on a mission. So
then at the top, Bishop Lynch from a tough district. The record kind of shows that.
Mm-hmm.
But Cathedral High School, looks like they've got a pretty good team with their record as well now.
So I'm gonna go with Cathedral.
So then that would set up a Plano, Houston, El Paso, San Antonio. So I think the four areas, right?
Yep.
North Texas, Houston, El Paso, and San Antonio. So we'll go with JP2 out of Plano versus St. Prius. Who you leaning towards on that one?
JP2.
And then Central Catholic and Cathedral High School out of El Paso.
I'll go with Central Catholic.
And are you taking Central Catholic to win it all, or are you going to go with JP2 out of Plano?
I think they get some redemption this year, and they win it all. After last year's kind of disappointment, I think they've learned. They got to learn how to finish games and finish the fight here. So they take care of business there.
Central Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
All righty. So the TAPPS Division I, according to the expert Ursuline Academy, pretty safe bet, I would assume. Central Catholic, although I think that one, it'll be interesting to see how that one shakes out on that there. So moving on, Division II girls. This is the one bracket where, from what I can tell, nothing's been decided, at least on the TAPPS playoffs here. Mm-hmm. You got Fort Worth Christian going to get Bishop Dunn out of Dallas. Fort Worth Christian finished first in D1, 10-2, 7-1, and Bishop Dunn finished third out of District 2. I'm assuming you're going with Fort Worth Christian.
Yeah.
This one I think will be kind of interesting to see where you land on this. St. Michael's Catholic 13, 1-3, 4-1-1, and Grace Community out of Tyler 16-5, 1 and 8-0 out of District 2. St. Michael's finished tied for first, but seating wise ended up second out of Division 3. So who you leaning on that one?
That's going to be a tough game, but I'm going to give the edge to St. Michael's. I think they pull that one off.
And then Grapevine Faith Christian Academy, 9-7-1, 4-4, and Legacy Christian out of Frisco, 8-4-2, and 6-2.
You go with the Frisco team.
And then Liberty Christian out of Argyle, 7-8-2, 4-4, and the Regent School. Oh, I misspoke here. 16-2-2, 5-0. So they did win Regent District 3 outright here for that here.
So go to Regents.
And then Sutton up to the semis. You got Fort Worth going against St. Michael's.
Yeah, that's going to be a real interesting game there.
Fort Worth will most likely host because they're the higher seed.
So I'll go with Fort Worth Christian. I think I can see that game go to overtime.
And then you've got Legacy Christian out of Fort Worth, or pardon me, out of Frisco, going against Regents out of Austin.
We'll go with Regents.
And then moving over to the other side, SA Christian, 15-6, 9-1, going against Morningstar Kelly Catholic Beaumont, 9-11, 6-8.
I will go with SanAntonio Christian.
Coach Cano's old stomping grounds, St. Mary's Hall, 8-6, 6-4, traveling to Fort Bend Christian out of Sugarland, 14-3-1 and 12-2. I know last year they had a close loss out over in the Houston area.
We'll go with Fort Bend on that one.
TMI hosting the Emory. TMI 12-9-1, 8-2. The Emory 7-9 and 7-7 on the year.
TMI.
And then St. Anthony Catholic going against St. John, was it 23?
23rd, yeah.
23rd seat College Prep out of Katy, 26-0-1 and 14-0. I know I like St. Anthony, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's not going to be a pretty game there.
And I'm assuming TMI season ends against St. John 23rd out of Katy as well.
I think so.
And then SA Christian and Fort Bend Christian out of Sugarland. I think this one will be kind of an interesting match for you to.
Yeah, that's going to be a tight. I think that'll be a tight game. I think I'm going to go with SanAntonio Christian. I think they pulled this one off.
So then that gives you a final four going to Georgetown, right? I think they still go to Georgetown as well.
They go to Round Rock.
So you got Fort Worth Christian going against Austin Regent School. So kind of a homecoming for Austin. Regents out of Austin in the host school.
Yeah, that'll be another tight game. I think Regents pulls that one off.
SanAntonio Christian with the shorter drive, but going against St. John 23rd, the CP out of Katy.
Yeah, St. John the 23rd.
And then if I've known how you've been picking, I'm assuming you're going with St. John's because you go pretty chalk when it gets this way here. Do you give Regents because they may have a home field advantage?
It'd be. I think it'll be competitive early on, but St. John's, they're going to take care of business there in Round Rock.
All right. See, moving to the boys. Last I saw, they didn't have any updates either. Let's make sure nothing's been updated here, so that way we don't. Thank you. Yeah, so we do got one final, which I've already updated, which is the Brownsville St. Joseph Academy out of Brownsville. So Grapevine, Faith Christian, 12-3-2, 8-0 versus Grace Community Tyler, 12-6-5, 5-5 though, out of Division II, District 3.
We'll go with Grapevine.
St. Dominic Savio Catholic out of Austin, 14-2-1, 5-1, and going against Legacy Christian out of Frisco, 11-4, 8-2. Tough draw for St. Dominic, a good record, but they will be traveling on the road to the higher. Well, actually, this is a neutral site in Waco. Staying correct.
This could be this could go either way. I'm gonna give it. Actually, this might be like I say, your minor ups.
It looks like here it's been updated here.
I think that's your minor ups.
Hold on. So they're saying 12, 2, 9, hold on. So they're saying these two float. That doesn't make sense though, but I'll roll with it. I know it was Legacy. I messed it up here. Shoot. Which one? Legacy Christian. All right, hold on. They switched the bracket. How do I have this on? So Faith are there. 2-2. Hold on 1 second here. I'm not sure how I got this all wrong, but and so Crystal Ray through there, and then so Legacy. Let me just make sure the other side bracket's good. Why is this doing that? On the other side, Christian, Lutheran South, TMI, Woodlands. Okay, so yeah. Sorry about that. All right, so then you've got Cristo Rey, 11-4-1, 8-2 versus Saint Dominic Savio Catholic out of Austin, 14-2-1, 5-1, and they're from District 3. District 3, second place for there. And then you got Southwest Christian Fort Worth, who finished second out of District 2, going against the Legacy Christian out of Frisco. So let me get the records here for Southwest. Division 2. Southwest Christian finished 7-7. 7-5-3. So out of Cristo Rey, out of Dallas, 8-2, going against St. Dominic Savio Catholic out of Austin.
That's gonna be it's still a tough matchup. I'm gonna give that one to St. Dominic. We'll give them the edge on that one.
And then Southwest Christian Fort Worth and Legacy Christian Frisco.
We'll go with Frisco.
And then down at the bottom, Liberty Christian Argyle, 6-12, 5-3, and St. Michael's 12-4, 1 and 5-1. This is the one where the second and first kind of tied here.
Yeah, we'll go with St. Michael's.
What a difference, though, right? Getting the top seed there. Not saying Liberty Christian Argyle is a lesser team, but just looking at the records, it's not Cristo Rey. And then you got Grapevine 12-3 and 2-8-0 going against St. Dominic.
We'll go with Grapevine.
And then Legacy Christian Frisco going against St. Michael's.
That's going to be a very tough game there. I think St. Michael's pulls that one off in a close one.
And then Brownsville, St. Joseph out of Brownsville already beat Second Baptist out of Houston 5-3 earlier today. San Antonio Christian and Lutheran South out of Houston. San Antonio Christian 18-5, 9-3 on the road to Lutheran South. I'll just verify it's not a neutral site game. Yeah, it's at the higher seed at Lutheran South. 21-9-2 and 11-3.
They got a tough test, especially going all over there to Houston. Just kind of looking at the Lutheran South record, some of the teams they've played, they've lost to St. Pius. They have lost to San Antonio Christian, actually 4-1. So, and they lost to TMI. So that could be that could be your upset.
Are different.
There. That could be different now. Now it's different now because I know they're playing them at. I'm sure they're going to look for revenge. But you know what? My gut feeling, I think you get the upset here with San Antonio Christian.
TMI, speaking of them, 14-7-2, 10-2, edged out San Antonio Christian for the second slot here to St. Joseph, and then the Woodland Christian 16-10-2, 9-5 out of District 5, finishing third there at TMI.
That's a tough matchup again too for them. They face each other once already. So I'm gonna since that's at TMI, I'm gonna give it with TMI. TMI wins this one.
And then St. Mary's Hall and Morningstar Kelly, Beaumont 12-2 and 12-2. St. Mary's 7-7-1, 6-6. Are you gonna make it all Division 4, or does Morningstar Kelly out of Beaumont sneak in?
I think you go with Kelly here.
Brownsville. I think they lost to San Antonio Christian, right? Or no, they lost. Yeah, I want to say they lost to them.
I think they might have split. They actually did split the series. They got a 5-0 win against them at home, and then they lost to Brownsville St. Joseph at St. Joseph 2-1. So this will be the rubber match here.
And this would probably be down in Brownsville, right?
Or it could be a neutral side. I would be surprised. I want to be surprised this game's in Corpus Christi.
Corpus? With the wind?
Yeah. It could be a Corpus, or it can be maybe Alice or Laredo, depending what's available. This could be a tight game. But I think San Antonio Christian gets the third game.
Oh, you're going against a Brownsville team. That's kind of surprising. TMI and Kelly Beaumont. I know you've always been a fan of Kelly Beaumont. TMI has been pretty solid this year, though, in neutral site game as well, or you think this would be over in the Beaumont area?
So this game would probably be in the Houston area. I wouldn't be surprised. It's going to be interesting. Like I said, where they play this one at. With Beaumont Kelly, like I said, they've had some success the last few years, and but I'm gonna this will be another the win.
You're going with Beaumont? Sorry,
yeah.
It beeped out. Okay. So then put into the final four, Grapevine, 12-3-2, winner of the Division 1 against St. Michael's. This would be the semifinals would be in Round Rock, right? So because that's where all of them are. So you still going with Grapevine, or are you going with St. Michael's with I don't know if it'd be an upset, but because they're both similar
No.
records.
That's gonna be a good game. This will be a real tight game, but I'm gonna go with Grapevine. I think Grapevine pulls this one off.
And then SanAntonio Christian and Kelly Beaumont.
This is gonna be an interesting game here. You know, I think Beaumont Cali just has a little too much. It'll be a close, but I think they'll pull that one off.
If it's Brownsville, St. Joseph's out of Brownville, you still going with Kelly?
Yeah.
And then Grapevine or Kelly Beaumont?
I'm going to go with Grapevine. I think Grapevine finally gets this one.
And then moving to Division III girls. It's 32. Okay. So moving to Division III girls here. By district round, Brentwood Christian out of Austin beat Prince of Peace out of Carrollton 2-1. And let me see if there were any others. No, so that was the only early match that they had. So then you got McKinley Christian 12-3, 10-0 going against Brentwood Christian out of Austin 9-6 and 7-3, already having a victory in the by district round. And this is at McKinney.
Yeah, we'll get that one to McKinney.
Lake Hill Prep out of Dallas 8-4, 7-3. The Veratus Academy 10-4-1, 8-2.
We'll go with Lake Hill.
Higher seed, but I don't know who would be the higher seed because they're both 2 seeds. So, but we're going to go with Lake Hill. Brook Hill Bullard 17-3-1, 10-0, and Pantego Christian out of Arlington 7-6-1 and 6-4.
We'll go to Brook Hill.
And Convent Christian Colleyville 6-4 against Live Oak Classical out of Waco 9-4 and 9-1.
The Convent schools, remember, they've been the nemesis of GP2, but I think this is a year that they get knocked off, and I think Waco Classical beats them here.
Then McKinley Christian and Lake Hill Prep.
McKinney.
And then Brook Hill Bullard and Live Oak Classical out of Waco.
I'll go Brook Hill. Yeah, Brook Hill.
Moving to the other side here, and I have a feeling we know where we're heading here, but JP2 24-1-2, 6-1, and Brentish International 6-10, 5-7. I'm assuming it was going JP2 on the girls.
Yes, we'll go with JP2.
The Atonement Academy 11-5, 3-3. Houston Cypress 12-3-1 and 11-1.
We'll go with Cypress Christian.
Geneva School of Bernie, Legos Prep. Geneva was up 2-0.
Yeah, I'll give that one to Geneva. Hopefully, hopefully there's no shockers there. Yeah, I've been checking to see if there's been any updates, but there's been no updates. So anybody from Geneva watching, DM us with an update. So what's going on? Because I guess it was 2-0 at the half. So I've been checking their page, and they haven't updated anything just yet.
Been pretty solid here. And then New Braunfels Christian and Bay Area Christian League City. New Braunfels 8-3-1, 5-5. Bay Area Christian 16-4, 11-1.
We'll go Bay Area Christian.
So to me, that sets up a very interesting regional finals here. JP2 out of Shirts, 24-1-2, 6-1. Cypress Christian out of Houston, 12-3-1, 11-1.
We'll go with JP2.
And then at the bottom, do we get the trifecta with Geneva, or does Bay Area Christian I don't want to say it'll be an upset because it looks like they're a quality team. They won their
Yeah.
Division 5 here, and if memory serves me right, they've been a quality program as well.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting game there. But I think
it would probably be in the Houston area, right?
Or it could be a neutral site game. Usually for those regionals, there'll probably be somewhere. I could see that game maybe like at College Station. That's a place that they'll probably maybe kind of looking to see who they Bay Area Christian who they play. They haven't really had much here on.
The site says a neutral site, but it could
Yeah.
be that it hasn't been updated 'cause it's still TBD.
So they do have a loss against JP2.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go with Geneva here.
So then it sets up an interesting semifinals. In Round Rock, McKinney Christian 12-3, 10-0. Brook Hill Bullard 17-3-1, 10-0. Both of these are Fort Worth schools, correct? Or the North Texas schools?
Yeah, so that one I think will be McKinney Christian.
And then here for us, huge battle here in the San Antonio area.
Yeah,
going JP2 in the history, or are you going with Geneva, who beat them soundly the first match in the district playoffs? I guess is what they call it.
The district title game. They lost in PKs.
3-2. 3-2. I think is what it was.
Yeah. So here's a trilogy here. I think this is probably the year Geneva gets through. I think this is their year.
Wow.
No shade to shape JP2, but I think they're probably going to learn from that game. I think they had an opportunity to put them away, and I think they have their eyes on the bigger prize.
So then, are you going McKinley, or are you going Geneva to bring home the title to the San Antonio area, or are they keeping it up north? Because I think last year it went to
the
Convict Christian in Colleyville. Yeah. So is it coming back home, but not the shirts, but to Geneva to Bernie?
This is gonna be a tough one, but I think Geneva finishes off the.
Do you favor if it's JP2 or Geneva? Do you favor both of those goals over?
Yeah, I think if it's JP2, I'd favor JP2 too. So I think both of them I think those are your two favorites. If it's that, whoever wins that game is probably your favorites.
But this one would be worth the price of admission.
It's sad that they're not on opposite sides because that would have been probably the best best final to have.
So, and then moving to the boys' side here, the bi-district round, Concordia lost to Quorum out of Plano 5-2. Prince of Peace beat Vanguard. College Prep out of Waco 5-0. Shelton beat Veritas Academy 2-0. McKinley Christian beat Lake Hill Prep 7-0. The Convent beat Hill Country Christian 4-1 to set up that side. On the other side, Geneva beat St. Joseph Catholic out of Bryan 6-4. St. John Paul II out of Corpus Christi defeated Logos Prep out of Sugarland 3-1. St. Thomas Episcopal beat Carnivore Academy out of Corpus 4-0. Brazos Christian out of Bryan beat New Braunfels Christian 3-0. And Northland Christian beat Bay Area Christian out of League City 3-0. So we also already know British International beat Geneva School of Bernie 4-0 today. So they advanced to the regionals here. So since we're on this side here, Cypress Christian 12-1 and 12-0. How to buy the first round going against St. John Paul II out of Corpus Christi 6-3, 4-2.
Yeah, I'll go with Cypress Christian.
Brazos Christian, out of Bryan, 10-4, 9-3 versus St. Thomas Episcopal 13-4-1, 11-1.
It's gonna be a tight game. St. Thomas.
St. John Paul II out of Shirts, 15-5-2, 10-0, had a bye. Northland Christian out of Houston, 8-4.
We'll go with Shirts, JP2.
So then JP2 versus St. Thomas Episcopal, 13-4-1, 11-1, 10-0. Winner of Division 4 versus the runner-up of Division 2.
That's going to be a really tough game matchup for them. Just you're kind of doing some little research on St. Thomas. Not much as far as max preps. Thank you a lot.
Now you got to go to the rank 1.
Yeah. So they that's a very interesting. Like I said, interesting matchup. So I'm just kind of seeing really quick here. So trying to get to see what the.
So they lost to British International 3-2. Non-conference Bay Area, Woodland Christian, Emory, St. John's the 23rd. They lost 2-1. Lutheran South Academy they lost 3-1, but those were early. So it looks like they started out October, November struggling a little bit, and then turned it on when it came into league play. And
yeah, they have a win over the British International School, and well, I see they have a
2-1.
They scored 3 touchdowns on Briarwood School, and also Westbury Christian twice. So
I think that's more the level of the competition.
Yeah, they can put some points. So that's gonna be a tough one. But I'm gonna give the edge to one to St. Thomas.
And then Cyprus Christian 12-1, 12-0 versus British International.
We'll go with the British school. They've been I think, like I said, they've been the team. They've been really that team that's been in the playoffs have done a lot of good things.
Moving to the other side of the bracket, the Convent Christian out of Colleyville, 11-2, 10-2, and Coram Dio Plano, 8-11, 8-6. Winner of District 1 versus the 4th place finisher in District 4.
We go with Colleyville.
Prince of Peace out of Carrollton, 17-2-2, 13-1, and the Sheldon School, 10-8-1, and 6-6.
We'll go with Prince of Peace.
Brook Hill Bullard, 17-1-1, 13-1. McKinley Christian, 11-7, 8-4.
Bullard.
And the Convent, 11-3-2, 10-2, and Brentwood Christian, 15-2-1 and 14-0. But so far, District 3 hasn't looked very good so far.
Yeah, maybe Brentwood might be the exception. So I think they can.
Gonna roll with them.
They should have, like I said, only loss I think they had was the St. Dominant, but I think they'll win that game.
So then you got Colleyville versus Prince of Peace Carrollton.
Tough matchup there. You got 2 quality programs going against each other. I'm going to give the edge that one to the Prince of Peace.
And then you got Brook Hill Bullard and Brentwood Christian.
Another tough matchup.
I wonder where this would play. Probably in a neutral site.
Probably more likely on the neutral site. I would think. I think they would. Kind of looking at Bullard, what they've done. Like I said, they've been some good teams. Like I said, the only loss was against Prince of Peace. Um, so I'm gonna give the edge to Bullard on that game.
So then that probably sets up a trifecta, right? Where each team has a loss to each other. I'm assuming that's who the losses were in the district.
Mm-hmm.
Prince of Peace, Carrollton, or Brookhill, and this would be in Round Rock.
I want to go with Prince of Peace.
And then so you got Division 2 versus Division 6 here. So Division 6, St. Thomas or British International. I'm wagering that they probably split as well.
Yeah.
As well. So
I think this one ends up with the British school.
And then are you going with North Texas or Houston?
Yeah, this is gonna be another tough one.
That's what it comes down to.
Yeah. So we'll go. I don't know. I guess since I go to Prince of Peace and Helotes, I give the edge to Prince of Peace on that one. Gotta give them some love.
All right. So just to kind of recap, so Division 1, we got Ursuline Academy for the ladies. For the gentlemen, we got Central Catholic. Division 2, we got St. John 23rd out of Katy. For the ladies in Division 2, we have Grapevine Faith Christian. Division 3, on the girls, we got Geneva, School of Bernie. And then wrapping up for the boys, Prince of Peace out of Carrollton. Keep in mind, on the regional finals, the ladies is March 5th and 6th. And then on the boys is the 7th and the 8th. We're there in Round Rock. Last year, if I remember correctly, they had a TV package that you could subscribe to. Memory serves me right, it wasn't the friendliest in pricing for that here, but like I said here, if you can have the opportunity, especially if you're in the Round Rock, Georgetown, Austin area, to be able to go out and support the schools, and then obviously playoffs here if you have the opportunity to go out and catch them, if you can find them, because they pull. Not a lot of advertisement on these here. I hate to say that here. Geneva's been pretty good on getting their information out and about, but for some of the other schools, it's not a lot of information when it comes to it. But any thoughts that you have? Possible sleepers that maybe you didn't pick? If you were to kind of possible sleepers to look out for, or
just those, like I mentioned, those Dallas teams are always kind of, sometimes those records may try to fool you, and the amount of competition they play over there, prepares them, I think, for this stage. And like I said, they've been, like I said, if you look at kind of like Ursuline Academy and the Covenant School, they've been the dominant teams, year in, year out, especially on the girls' side. So I wouldn't be surprised. Like I said, it's kind of like the mirror image of the UIO. We have the dominance in the Dallas area. It's kind of the same thing. That's where it's at. That's what right now with the whether it's public school or private school, the Dallas area teams have been the kind of like the standard right now for high school soccer here in Texas. But yeah, like I said, you have some great teams, out in the Houston area. You got some contenders there. We got some contenders here, for especially on the girls' side. We have JP2 and Geneva. Yeah, I think one or the other, whoever wins that game, I think that's the one ends up winning the state title. And then also you have Central Catholic, who made it last year, just fell short. But I think they're on the mission. I think they'll finish it. They're coached well. Their coach has got a lot of experience. So that they should take care of business, and some of the other ones there too. You got that British school. That British school's been very consistent. They've year in, year out.
You've had them going that far a lot.
Year in, year out, they've always had a good. They've built a solid program over there, and they've won some state titles. They've made it to the regional final or state semifinals. So every year, you can say it's not, you can't really predict, but it's usually your usual suspects that make it to this far, and that's what we're kind of seeing again this year.
That was one thing that I did notice is certain divisions, there wasn't a lot of changes from the previous year to this year. The record changed a little bit, but the seating and placement of them did not change. I think Division 3, I think you saw a little bit more fluctuation.
Yeah.
But especially, and to be fair, Division 1's very thin, anyways. So like your Central Catholic historically is going to be number one, at least in recent history. So that was one thing I did notice.
Yeah, and one thing also you notice that the teams that they're playing, they're starting to compete more against some of the UIL teams during that little break, that just between that little kind of like break right when the UIL starts. So they're really testing themselves because they know for sure when they do go to this stage, they have to be ready to play. And I think it's paid dividends for a lot of these programs. And you look at Central Catholic, they went to that, the North Texas, Elite Showcase, and they had some good results. I know they lost a couple of a game there, but it's preparation for them for this stage. And like I said, they fully understand that some of those Dallas area teams for the private school for TAPPS, they face a lot of competition on there, especially the talent they have over there. So they know they have to be prepared to see that, especially the speed of the game and so forth.
Any preview of what's coming up? I think we're still doing a UIL show and probably a recap of the area round on Thursday, I believe, what we're going to try to do.
Yeah. Yeah, recap, but also that big game that me and Coach Connor went on Saturday, the O'Connor
Taft O'Connor
Taft game. Shout out to them, for the props, for having, it was a pleasure, covering their game. And then O'Connor's got the girls got a big game tomorrow. They got Brennan, and Brennan's not a slouch. So the last 3 years with those three teams, they've one knocks one, the other, and they could cost somebody the district title. So, like I said, it's District 29 6A for the girls is always fun to watch, and like I said, we usually get two of those teams make it to the regional semifinals, and we'll see if they finally break through. And then kudos to the Johnson girls today. They were down 3-2 against Brandeis, and it didn't look good for a while, but they came back and won 5-3. And I mean, that's a good test for them because, they've been on cruise control. They've beaten some teams handily, but I think this would probably be a good little wake up for them and say, hey, to get refocused and, not take teams for, maybe teams for granted, but it was a good test for them. Because I think this year they have a really good opportunity, especially the experience they have, to go deep and hopefully you get to that regional tournament. The Achilles heel has been the Austin teams, and is this finally the year that SanAntonio kind of flings, eliminates them, and maybe we have 4 teams in the regional finals all from SanAntonio face each other. So it'd be nice to see that, and especially also on the boys' side too as well.
A little bit nervous. Bernie still hasn't updated it. Geneva still hasn't updated their score.
Hopefully
hopefully that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, that 2-0 lead. It's not a good. That's not a good omen and stuff. But
it makes me a little uncomfortable. So they haven't came back because all the teams that typically make the playoffs, especially.
Yeah, then also shout out to McCollum, the McCollum and Southwest Legacy girls. I went to their game too, cover them. Great match. Great. Both teams they have some talent. There's some talented teams. I know they don't get much, the publicity from others as far as them. Like I said, we like to share the wealth, and it was great to go check them out. And hopefully I'll get to be able to see them again. I'm trying to pinpoint one of the key games they have coming up to feature that, and then also we got some key games in 4A, and we got some 4A teams, or we got some state contenders too as well, especially on the girls side. So we'll see how that comes up. And
I will say I went and saw Jay, and they were playing Steven, so take that with a grain of salt.
Mm-hmm.
But Jay looks really good. Defensively, they've number 2. They've got a defensive midfielder that was just cleaned everything up, and they hit the crossbar a couple of times here. So don't sleep on Jay. They may not win the division because I think Harlan's.
Well, they still have to play each other, and they're in second place.
But they're a game and a half back. For that here. So even if they do win,
they do face them on the 9th of March.
Don't sleep on Jay. I'm just putting this out there that don't sleep on Jay. I think they're better than what a lot of people forecasted coming into the year.
Yeah, because Harlan's 9-0-2. What Jay was 7-1-2,
8-2-1 right now.
8-2-1. So they're only about maybe a game and a half. Yeah, a game and a half behind.
Game and a half behind.
Harlan still has they got Stevens coming up. I know they got Sotomayor. That game on the 9th is going to be really key there. Mm-hmm. But also, Harlan cannot sleep on Taft. You saw what Taft did to Brennan. So that could change things there.
Matches, the 9th and 19th. Yeah.
But I do see, like I said, I do see Harlan and Jay going deep into the playoffs. I know they have 36A, which are the Laredo schools. As long as they avoid maybe Laredo Alexander, has been probably the top team there. Like I said, I was able to see United South. United South has some talent, so they can be a very tricky team. I think that they'll probably be your second place team. So we may see Harlan versus Del Rio, or Jay versus Del Rio, or LBJ. And then the key for them is that second round game is, can they get by like teams like Brownsville, Rivera, or Los Fresnos, which Rivera just recently lost to. I think that was the first loss of the season to Los Fresnos. So there'll be some changes, I know, for the RPI statewide, but it's going to be, like I said, you saw the run they made last year. Rivera made all the way to the regional final. When they knocked off Lee. So, and then also on the boys' side too. With 6A, they got, we'll see tonight. Well, tonight, Johnson and Brandeis. Last time they faced each other, they're going on right now. And that game, Brandeis was shorthanded, and I think they're at full strength. We'll see what the result is. We haven't seen anything yet posted as far as scores, so it seems like it might be a real tight game. It might be a 0-0 game right now. I mean, Brandeis does need to win that game because they need, like I said, to get back, to kind of equalize that. And then 5A boys, like I said, Southwest is just doing their thing, But like I said, there's some challenges up ahead. Keep an eye on that Piper team, the Piper boys. They've been turning it up, and you could see them making it also to the regional tournament as well. Girls side, like I said, you have Alamo Heights. Kudos to New Braunfels Canyon. The girls, they knocked off Bernie Champion, so the big win for them. That really kind of changed things there now in that district as far as the district title race. And then, like I said, you got other teams as well coming up. As far as with the 4A, especially like Wimberley, Canyon Lake, and Davenport and Bernie. That's going to be a dogfight. It's going to be interesting how that one finishes.
So, but we got to get out of here. I got to pick up my son from practice here. But Rafa, thank you for doing this here. Like I said here, good luck to everybody that's playing in the TAPPS speedy playoffs for that here in TAPPS. You could slow it down a little bit here. It would be interesting to be able to find out why they push it through, because basically they're playing 2 matches a week. To be able to get this through here for that here. So, but like I said here. I guess probably for the track, right? So that way,
maybe
small schools like that, they play multiple sports.
For sure, athletes, yeah.
So that may be the reason why they get that pushed through. But like I said, it was a pleasure, Rafa. Like I said, here we'll get this loaded up, And good luck to all the chosen ones that are in the playoffs. And we'll see if Rafa's bracket gets broken soon for that here. And then, of course, keep in mind probably mid-March, second,
we got an update.
third week in
1-1, Johnson and Brandeis.
Pardon me?
Thank you to Coach Cano.
1-1. Yeah. Brandeis and Johnson 1-1. So, but what's life without goals? We're out of here. Hope everybody has a wonderful evening. And like I said here, we'll see you on Thursday.